जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining. And we are discussing verse number 23 of chapter number 1 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. In the previous two verses, we saw that Arjuna is requesting the infallible Lord. He is calling the Lord as Achyuta. So he is requesting the infallible Lord to draw his chariot in the middle of the battlefield. So this is the first time the conversation moves from the discussion between Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra to Arjuna and Krishna. So here in the beginning, Arjuna is requesting Krishna to take the chariot in the middle of the battlefield so that he can see. And he is going to speak about that in this verse and subsequent verses. So let's read the Sanskrit. So text 23. Yotsyamanaan avekshaham ya ete atra samagataha dhatrarashtrasya durbuddher yuddhe priya chikirsavaha. So the translation goes as, let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded sons of Dhritarashtra. So he wanted to see that who is fighting, who is so much interested, or what kind of people are they. Is it really true that so many people have come to fight from the side of this obstinate person, Duryodhana? So he wanted to see, and that's why he is requesting Krishna to take the chariot in the middle of the battlefield. So the word, iksha, aveksha or iksha, iksha means actually to see, aveksha, or in the previous verse he is using the word nirikshaya. He wanted to see. So this word is coming again and again, and it will be repeated in the later verses, and there the word will be used as pasya. So it's a very important word. That's why I marked it in red over here. And we're going to discuss the importance of seeing, how important it is to see, and how seeing can actually cause bewilderment. So later on, this saving of the army will be confusing or creating illusions in the mind of Arjuna. So that's why this term is very important. Another word which is used here is Dhritarashtrasya Durbuddher. So this term is used, Durbuddher is used for Duryodhana. So it's not that Duryodhana is not intelligent at all, but his intelligence, which is buddhi, is misdirected. Is misdirected in this instance because he wants to usurp the kingdom of the Pandavas. So he wants to bring destructions to others, and that is why here Arjuna is calling him as Durbuddher, or having misdirected intelligence. So let's see what Srila Prabhupada has to discuss in the purport. So Prabhupada says, Arjuna wanted to see who all have come to fight. That he knew that, but he still wanted to see that who have come to fight, from the side of the Kauravas, and Kauravas were not following dharma. They were propagating adharma. So who all have come to fight on the side of adharma, and also to wishing to actually please this evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra, which is Duryodhana. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, it was an open secret that Duryodhana wanted to usurp the kingdom of the Pandavas by evil plans in collaboration with his father Dhritarashtra. So in Mahabharata we see, time and time again, right from the childhood, Duryodhana, he didn't like the Pandavas and he wanted to kill them. And for that he devised various plans, one after other. And in all the plans, he was unsuccessful. Either Krishna protected them, or sometimes Vidura protected them. So they were having the protection of Krishna and all the elders. So that's how they could be saved for so long. But finally, that comes to the battlefield of Kurukshetra, where the war will happen. And here also we'll see that, the Kauravas or the sons of Dhritarashtra will be defeated. Therefore, all persons who had joined the side of Duryodhana must have been birds of the same feather. So as Duryodhana was evil-minded and as he wanted to usurp the kingdom, the other people who have joined the party of Duryodhana must be birds of the same flock. Right? Arjuna wanted to see them on the battlefield before the fight was to begin, right? Just to learn who they were. But he had no intention of proposing peace negotiation with them. So this was not a kind of peace negotiation, because already the conch shell were blown and all the warriors were ready to fight. But his intention just was to see what is their intention actually. How evil-minded people or group of evil-minded people have come with one intention to fight with the Pandavas. It was also a fact that he wanted to see them to make an estimate of the strength. So he also wanted to make estimate of the strength which he had to face. And then although he was quite confident of the victory of Krishna, because Krishna was sitting by his side. So he knew that because Krishna is there, he is the Supreme Lord, and with Krishna comes all the opulence, all the fortune. So everything positive was there from the Pandava side. But still he wanted to see their strength and makes his plan accordingly. So this is what is pretty much disguised in this verse. And in summary, in the last two purports, the discussion that has happened, we'll just quickly summarize that. So Krishna was called by the name Achyuta, or infallible one, and he is described so because the Lord never feels in affection for his devotees, and he is engaged in the service of his friend out of causeless mercy. So this was in verse number 21-22. And Lord did not hesitate to carry out the orders of Arjuna. So in the next verse we'll see that, as Arjuna has requested, Krishna, without asking any question, he takes the chariot in the middle of the battlefield. So he follows the orders of Arjuna as his charioteer, and without asking any question. Still, his supreme position as Rishikesha, the Lord of the senses, was unchallenged. So Lord may be in any position, it doesn't matter in whatever role he is playing, but he is in all the time, he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. So relationship between Lord and devotee is sweet and transcendental. A devotee is always eager to serve the Lord, and similarly the Lord is always takes pleasure in taking orders from the pure devotees. And he is also eager to serve in that way, although he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now the last point that is discussed is why Arjuna asked to move the chariot in the middle of the army. So the reason was given, Arjuna was forced to fight against his wish because of obstinacy of Duryodhana, which indicates that he was not ready to fight, but because the other party would not do any kind of justice. So this war was necessary, and Krishna wanted this war because they had so much obstinacy. So Krishna wanted to annihilate them, and this is one of the reasons for why Krishna comes to this material world. He wants to annihilate all the demons, and he was also anxious. Second reason was Arjuna was anxious to see that the leading men present with the desire to fight to please Krishna. This is discussed in today's verse. They all must be the birds of the same feather. So here there is a nice analogy which is used. Analogy is basically example. So with the examples we can understand the things much better. So time to time we'll see that Prabhupada gives different kinds of examples, and we will highlight those examples. Like one of the example was given in the first verse towards the end, that all the weeds growing in the rice paddy fields are taken out. So similarly, it is expected that all the Kauravas will be killed in the war. So here also this analogy is given in text number 23. The analogy is birds of the same fox fly together. So Kauravas and their friends of similar mentality, similar attitude, following our dharma, they were all in one party. They were all fighting from the Kuru side or the Kaurava sides. And Arjuna also wanted to see how much they are bent upon fighting. Right? They don't want to give the rightful kingdom actually. The kingdom was belonging to the Pandavas, and they don't want to give them their kingdom back. So they were hell bent on fighting. Then also the Arjuna wanted to estimate the strength with which he had to face, although he was confident of his victory because Krishna was sitting on his side. And he was very well prepared because he was given instructions while they were in the exile that to go to the Swargaloka and collect all kind of divine weapons. So Arjuna got all these things. So he was fully prepared to win this war. But he had no intention of peacemaking at this moment. So this action of Arjuna should not be taken that he is afraid, and as of this point of time he is not afraid at all and he is well prepared to fight, but he want to assess what is going on, investigate what is going on. So he had no intention of making or doing any kind of peacemaking process, right? Because they were not interested, so Arjuna was also not. He was actually forced to fight. So with this, our discussion for this 23rd verse is over, and in the next verse we'll see that Krishna drives the chariot in the middle of the battlefield. So with this we'll stop here and then we'll continue in the next session. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Bol.